Now on today's System Saturday session, what we're going to talk about is the 4 types. Oops. We already did that one. Whoops. I did everything myself in here. That is not how you do the business. And that right there is a house that I have already flipped as well. And I already know that I can flip this house to a buyer on my buyers list because I got a strong buyers list in this area. Hey, what's up guys? John Cochran here, and today is System Saturday, the day that I bring you a system that I use in my business that you can rip off, duplicate using your own local market. Now, in today's System Saturday session, what we're going to talk about is the 5 facts that I use to make motivated sellers agree to my price. So let's just go through and say that I've put out marketing for motivated sellers. I've got to the face-to-face appointment with them. I've got to look around the house and whatever, and I know exactly what I'm going to be offering them on their property while I'm sitting down at the kitchen table. So it's just me and that seller right at that time. So how do I get them to agree to the price that I throw out at them? Very, very simple. I bring them into reality. So here's exactly what we do, okay? When they go through and let's just say, for example, they think that their property, and maybe even my exit strategy, is to sell the property for $100,000, just to keep the math easy. And I'm going to make them an offer for $50,000 on their property. Immediately, they're going to go through and say, oh, no, $50,000, you're going to make $50,000 off this? Why don't I just make that $50,000? You ever been there? That's exactly the way that it goes, because they feel like you're lowballing them, but all you got to do is you got to reel them back in, get them back into reality, and show them the true facts, okay? So whenever you make that offer of $50,000, just let them know, hey, Mr. Jones, check this out. So the average days that this house will likely have to be on the market before it is sold is going to be about 5 months. Okay, now that right there is after the rehab process, meaning that I saw that there's a couple things that I'd like to do to this property, and I think that you would agree with that, in order to make it worth that $100,000. Is that correct, seller? Absolutely, that is correct. So after I get and I put all of my money in it and make this thing happen and get it up to the standards of $100,000, it's probably going to take me about 5 months in order to have it sold. Okay, that's about what the average is around the country. It's going to take me about 5 months in order to make that happen. That's after I get done with the rehab. So if the rehab goes through and it takes me 3-4 months to do the rehab, guess what? You can tag on 5 more months in order to get that thing to the closing table. So it's a lot of time that I'm going to have invested in this, Mr. Jones. Now, the second thing is I'm probably going to end up selling this house for about 94% of my list price, meaning that I'm not even going to get full price out of this thing, because that's just the way the world works. That's the way buyers are. They want to get the best deal, which obviously everybody wants to get the best deal. So Mr. Jones, so when I list this thing at $100,000, after I rehab it and it's up onto the market and everything, I'm going to list it for $100,000. Now when a buyer comes in, probably in that 5-month period, I'm going to get about an offer for about 94% of that. So they're going to offer me, and I'm going to probably accept $94,000 on this particular property, okay? That is completely done, that I've already rehabbed and everything. I'm going to accept 94% of it because that's the norm. Number 3, okay, and that's if the market is strong. Number 3 is that whenever I go to sell this thing, the average real estate commission that I'm going to have to pay for a realtor to just put a sign out into the yard is 6%. Okay, so off of that $100,000 that I'm going to be asking for this property, Mr. Jones, I'm also going to have to pay 6% commission to a realtor in order to put it up onto the MLS and throw a sign into the yard. So that's automatically going to take $6,000 off if I was to even to get full asking price. So off that 94%, which is what the offer amount's going to be that I'm going to accept, I'm going to have to pay 6% off of that $94,000. Doesn't sound too pretty now, does it, Mr. Jones? And the fourth thing is the seller paid closing costs. So when I get into this deal, okay, and 94% that I'm going to accept I'm going to accept 94% of that $100,000. I'm going to have to pay the 6%, but then I'm going to have to pay closing cost for the buyer, and that is typically right around 5%. So now, agree, Mr. Jones, that it's just not as pretty as it sounds. You don't think I'm going to be making $50,000 now, because I'm bringing you back into reality here. Number 5 is that is after all I made the improvements in the property. So what this means is that I buy a property for $50,000. I go and I put $20,000 in this property. So I've got $70,000 wrapped up in this. Now when I go to try to sell this, the seller thinks that I'm going to be making $30,000 off of this property. That's what they think. That's what the public thinks. That's what they think. But you got to bring them back into reality. Mr. Seller, I'm going to be getting $94,000 off of this. Then I'm going to have to pay a 6% commission off that. Then I'm going to have to pay a 5% commission, or I'm going to have to pay a 5% to the closing cost. So at the end of the day, I'm going to make about $10,000, $12,000, and it's going to take me 5 months to market it after I go through and do the rehab. So it's probably going to take me about 8 months in order to make about $12,000. Or you can go ahead and do it yourself. You can do all that yourself. So that's how you really bring the sellers back into reality and get them to accept a $50,000 offer when they know that you're going to be selling it for $100,000, because you just got to bring them back into reality. So guys, subscribe to us on YouTube, like us on Facebook, and I'll see you on the next System Saturday. I'm out.